Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a 3 looks 1 palette using the beautiful Shroud Arcana palette, and I'm so happy about this right now. I'm feeling this look so far. I love this look. Even out of my first impressions, I think I prefer this look. I think it's so beautiful. Such a witchy, grungy, autumnal sort of vibe to this, and I really like it. Beautiful jewel tones, really odd colour pairings as well, and kind of a matte and a shimmer to go with each colour. I just think it's beautiful. So we're going to get into a few looks. We're going to try and use as many colours as I can. Try and use all the colours out of this palette in each look. I did use 1, 2, 3 that I didn't use in my first impression. So that's it. But this look is so simple and you will see how I got there in the first look. As I said, I did a first impressions if you want to see my first initial reaction to that palette and also some swatches of the palette. You'll see that all there, and also hit subscribe down below to see many more things coming. We've got many more palettes coming, we've got many more things coming up, and also we're continuing on with spooky season, which I think is really fun. And if you want to see any up close pictures of this look, then my Instagram is linked down below. You can see all the full face pictures and up close eye pictures of this look, and I'm posting some spooky content on there too. Plus my TikTok is down below, which I'm also doing some spooky content for that as well. So hopefully there's some fun things happening there. And I think that is all I need to talk about for the intro. So let's get into look number 1. Okay guys, so we're going to go with our Arcana palette. I'm so excited. I'm going to do a reverse smoky eye for the first look, and I want to use Sacred, Familiar, and probably Relic to blend it out. So reverse smoky eye is going to be all the colour on that inner corner in here and very little on the outer corner. Nice and simple look, a bit of a weird look, but it is Halloween after all, so why not? And I'm excited. It's a really easy look. It's so simple and just very little effort, but I really like how it turns out. It's very, what's the word, effective when it's actually done. So we're going to do that. I already have my skin on, my brows on, and my eyeshadow primer is going to be my Painterly Paint Pot because it has pigment to it, and I'm not going to be applying too much shadow out here, so I want a little bit of coverage out here, so that's why I'm going to use this, but I'm going to do that off camera, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so this whole look is going to be basically done with a lot of blending brushes, those kinds of brushes, smudgy brushes, all them kind of things, because that's all we're going to do. There's no precision to this look. So I'm going to start with the shade Sacred, which is the matte red here, and we're going to pop that right in the inner corner, like the exact opposite way you think to do your makeup. This is what we're going to do. So I'm taking that on a small, skinny blending brush, a 221 from MAC, and we're going to just literally do almost as if we're doing the inner part of a halo eye. That's the idea, but I am bringing it like right into that inner corner there, just the way we would do a smoky eye, having the darker shade wrap around the outer corner. We're going to do it on the inner side. It's not for everyone. You can just swap sides and have this go out here if you really want to, and I'm not blending this up too far. I'm just building it so it's nice and pigmented. This color is stunning, by the way. It's like not full-blown red, it's like leaning into a burgundy bricky kind of color. I am going to drag whatever is on my brush just about halfway through the crease, just like that, picking up the same color, and we're going to apply that to the lower lash line. You can use a smaller brush if you want to. I'm not. I want this to be really just heavy in there. So now that we look like we got a punch in the eye, we're going to start blending that. Okay, so weird, I know, but just stay with me here, people. Stay with me here. We're going to take the shade Relic, which is this really kind of dirty, just grungy brown sort of shade, and I'm going to take that on a BH Cosmetics Rose Gold number 6. I'm just going to take a dab at a time just to like have a soft kind of blend of this, but that is just going to go and start blending that out. I don't want this color to take over because it is quite pigmented, but I do want to kind of help pull all those colors through that crease. So I still have definition around my eye, but not something that's gonna like fully take over. And you can go back in and add more of the red shade. I just want to get my blends in. This will kind of create more like a shadowed effect, like a natural shadow. And then I'm also taking that just a little bit along the edge of that lower lash and drag that across here as well. When I say I'm taking a dab, I mean I'm taking the smallest amount. I just want the eye to look kind of sleepy, tired, that kind of thing. Make sure as well that you blend that little bit on the lid here out with that brown. And I have lost a little bit of that red, so I'm going to go back in with some more and just re-intensify that so I know that it is nice and sore looking. That's the idea here. It's just getting more and more intense, but I'm loving it so much. So I'm going to take a little Real Techniques shading brush, and we're going to take the shade Familiar, which is this kind of like what would you even say, like a copper penny kind of colour. It's not copper, not rusty, it's cooler, it's a bit more on the taupey side. I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and that's going to be our inner corner highlight on the darkest part of our eye. So just in that little area there, because as I said, I do like my inner corner to have a little bit of shimmer to it, and I think this would just be a nice little catch of colour. It just kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes the eye look more sore, and I love it. Okay, we're kind of done. That's the look. Yeah, the shadows are pretty much done now. It's a super quick look. So I'm gonna jump off. I'm probably gonna do a winged liner just to really define the eye and keep it real intense and real dark on that inner corner. I may throw on a dark lip because I just like that look, and a pair of lashes. Oh, I have a face stamp. I might do that as well, but I think I'll do my liner before I do the face stamp. This is the Colourpop Moon stamp. I might put a bit of that on. Yeah, I think I will. So I'm going to jump off and I'm going to finish off the eyes, do a little cheek, do a little lip, and I'll come back and show you what I use on the rest of my face. Okay guys, so here is the finished look. I'm feeling my vampy self right now. I've got my little moon shapes. I just did them kind of towards the end of my eyebrow, kind of going up this way. Just a little stamp. It's very simple. It's a nice cute way to add a witchy vibe to your look. I really like it. I'm feeling this, I love it. So I'm going to quickly go through everything that I used on my face. On my eyes, as I said, the stamp is from Colourpop, it's just their moon stamp. And then my liquid liner is my NYX Epic Ink liner. Just did a nice dramatic wing to really kind of balance out the outer part of my eye towards the inner part, and it just adds a more kind of sexy kind of effect. Then my mascara is my Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, just on my top and my bottom lashes. And then my lashes, I have them here because the glue is still drying at the top here. I don't know if you can see them. They're just a Cash Beauty lashes in the style Aurora. So they're really wingy, super long, which I thought could take to this look because, as I said, it's all the focus in here. So the wingy shape again keeps that like very intense look going. On my cheeks then, I used these two guys here. This is the Gotham Shade and Glow powder from Nabla, just to contour my face and give me a nice bit of shape and beautiful angles going on. And then my blusher is the Makeup Geek blush in the shade Cherish, a super neutral pink, very soft nude blush sort of shade, just to add a little bit of colour but not take away from the grungy like tones that are on my eyes. My highlight then is a super reflective Colourpop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Flexitarian. You can see how super shiny it is. Oh my goodness. And then for lip, I knew I was going to go dark, so I went in with my MAC lip pencil in the shade Burgundy just to line my lips a little bit. And then my lip is the Sleek Matte Me liquid lipstick in the shade Old Hollywood. So super beautiful, vampy, beautiful red. And I love it. Well, it's more burgundy, but I love it. So that is our look. I really like this look. This is totally a look I would wear going out. I love it, and not just for the spooky season, I love it all year round. I think this is so pretty. So that is look number 1. So let's go into look number 2. Okay guys, so we're going to get into look number 2 using the Shroud Arcana palette, and I'm feeling green today. I'm feeling a halo eye as usual. And I think we're definitely going to use Alchemy because this is the most stunning emerald green, and I really want to use Nocturnal because this is one of the shades that really made me want this palette. So I'm going to use Darkling, Relic, Alchemy and Nocturnal in this look, I think. And I already have my skin on a bit of bronzer on because I used a cream bronzer, and my brows and my eyeshadow primer on, which is all listed down below, but I'll tell you what I used at the end, and we're going to just get straight into it. So I'm going to go into Darkling down here, this really beautiful dark foresty green, and I'm really tapping that off. I'm taking that on a Makeup Geek pointed crease brush, so kind of like a stiff crease brush, and that's going to go on that outer corner. We're just going to really slowly build this up because I really don't want any fall down from these dark shades, so just as slow as you can build that up. And I'm not going to blend this out at all really, I'm just going to focus this on that outer corner. Don't worry about any edges because we will be blending with the shade Relic. And then I'm going to take that same shade and pop that on my inner corner in here. Again, don't blend up too high or anything like that. And I'm not going to bring them in through the middle either like normal because I want to use the blend for that and keep it a bit more open up here. So just something along that kind of line there. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Relic, which is that real kind of dirty brown sort of shade. And I'm going to take that on a BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe number 8 brush. It's like the pinched fluffy brush, so it's like flat here but then it's really wide here. So I'm just going to take a dab at that because this is very pigmented brown, and we're just going to use that to slowly very slowly build this up, because these colors are so pigmented, they get out of hand real easy. So I'm literally going in with a dab and just overlap the edge of that dark green. And I have a clean brush if I do want to do an extra, like a clean blend, just to diffuse any edges. Then I'm also taking a little bit of that dark brown, or that brown, over the dark green on the inner corner in here as well. And then just with whatever's left on the brush, we're just going to run that through the crease, kind of dragging from side to side. So a little bit of the green goes in there, but we don't want it to be the focus. And then I just have a big clean fluffy brush. This is a number 5 from the BH Rose Gold set. And if you need to just around all your edges, especially around here, I always find it takes a little bit longer to blend with most shadows anyway. And in here, just do that with this brush, because then you're not depositing any more product. I may still add a little bit more green in here and there, but I'm going to do that after I do shimmers and all that jazz. So I'm going to take Darkling again, and I'm going to take that on a 214 brush from MAC, just my small little smudgy brush like this. And we're going to do a halo lower lash line as well. So just popping that on the outer third of the lower lash, and then popping that on the inner third of the eye as well, just so we're kind of mimicking what's going on either side up here. And then just leave your nice little gap in the middle there as well. Okay, and then we're going to go back in with Relic, the medium brown. And well, it is quite dark though, like when it's actually on the skin, but it is a mid-tone brown technically. But I'm going to use that on a 219 from MAC, and we're just going to smoke out that green like what we did on the top. So just on that outer part here, connecting the blend as well, because it should all look similar around the edges. And then a little bit in here as well. You don't have to do it as dark in here if you don't want to, it's up to yourself, but I like it like that. Just taking a little bit more of Darkling, the dark green, and then just re-intensify that on the lower lash. Okay, so now on to some shimmers and all that jazz. I'm going to take my NYX Glitter Primer, as I always do, and I'm taking that on a BH Rose Gold number 7 brush, the flat shadow brush, and we're going to pop that all over the blank part in the middle here. And then just taking a little bit on the very tip of that brush as well, and just pop that on that middle bit down here where we have applied no color yet. And then I'm going to go in with Alchemy, which is that beautiful shimmery emerald, and that's going to go on either side of that glitter primer. So just on the edges where it meets the dark green, and we're going to leave a gap right in the middle as well. So just a little bit out here. Oh, that gives me such Slytherin vibes. Oh my god, that would look so cool over like a black liner. I hope you guys can see the kind of shiftiness of this color, because it's like a really dark base color with like just this beautiful green flash coming through. And then the same on this little bit in here. Then I'm going to take a smaller little flat brush. This is just a little sleek brush that I have that has no name, and we're going to take the shade Nocturnal, which is this beautiful like taupey mauvey kind of shade. Just want to see how it looks. I think it'll look pretty cool. And that's going to go right down the middle between the two greens on either side. And then just with whatever's on your brush, you could just tap over where they meet and just slightly overlap them, and then just keep going back and forth between the green, the mauve, the green, the mauve, the green, the mauve, until you're happy with the color. You just want a nice transition between all your shades. And then I'm going to take that same Nocturnal shade on that same little brush, and we're just going to pop that on the middle down here. I'm not doing the emerald green because I don't have enough space for it, so I just think it'll be just easier to just pop this down, and there's already enough green on the lower lash line. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Darkling again, the really dark matte green that we used at the beginning, and just tap over the edge of that shimmery green just on either side here. It's just to help that little blend on a little bit more. And it'll also add a bit more green back into the crease. Okay, so my last little step then, I'm going to take more of the Nocturnal, that taupey sort of shade, and that's going to go on our inner corner in here. I may put a little bit of my face highlight over top of it just to brighten it a little bit, but I do kind of want it to be dark in there, so I don't really mind. Okay, so that is it for shadow for now. As I said, I may put a little bit of highlight on the inner corner as well, just over top of that dark shade, but I kind of like it, so I might just leave that until the very end and see if I want to do it. But I'm going to jump off, I'm going to finish off the eyes, I'm going to do my cheeks, I'm going to pop a lip on, possibly a dark lip, and I'll come back and I'll show you what I used on my face. Alrighty guys, so this is how I finish off the look. I love how this turned out. I used a lip I haven't really used in a long time, so we're going to go through what I used on my face. So to finish off the eyes, I didn't do any upper lash line liner because I never really do when I do a halo eye. I always prefer it without it. So I went in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide on Eye Pencil in the shade Mars, which is an emerald green, matches that green Pretty Perfect, and also the lip as well, so it's kind of in between the two. And I just put that on the waterline to tie everything in together. My mascara is my Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, just on my top and bottom lashes. And then for my lashes, I wanted something quite like spiky, but also longer in the middle to help with the halo effect. So I went in with my House of Lashes Siren Doubles, and they're just long in the middle, short on either side to give that more rounded effect as well to the eye. Then my cheeks, I already had my bronzer on at the beginning, but I used my Larizzi bronzer, what's it called, Shade Sticks Contour Stick in the shade Aloha, and I just used that to contour up on my face. My blush then is the Catrice Light and Shadow Contouring Blush in the shade Rose Propose, and I just use that on my cheeks because I always do like a little bit of pink against green shades on the rest of the face, just to kind of give a bit of contrast but also complement as well. And then for my face highlight, I went in with my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlight, and it's in the shade Blossom Glow. It's the one that's kind of pinky toned, and I didn't actually put any of that on my inner corner. I decided not to because I just liked how it looks. I mean, it's Halloween, why not? And then for my lip, I went in with my Meld Liquid Set Lipstick in the shade Taupe, which is this beautiful dark green, and I love this colour. So that is look number 2 using the gorgeous Arcana palette. We're going to get into something a little bit warmer, I think, in the third look. So let's see what we come up with for look number 2. Okay guys, so let's get into look number 2 using the beautiful Arcana palette. And today I'm feeling all this side of the palette here. I've got some red on. This is my Freddy Krueger inspired jumper, even though it's red and black, not red and green, but it gives the same vibe. Plus it's got like, where are they? Like big holes already in it for you. So you know what I mean. It gives me all the ripped shredded vibes of Freddy. But I'm definitely going to do Sacred, Chalice, Enchantress, and I'm either going to do Entity or Altar. Probably Entity. I'm not too sure why, but I'm kind of feeling that colour, and I might do Familiar on the inner corner. But it's just going to be a standard eye, nothing too like overly technical with it. It's just going to be something nice and simple to do anyway, but really beautiful to wear. So I already have my skin on. I popped a bit of bronzer on because I got carried away and I just started doing it without noticing. I already have my brows on and my eyeshadow primer on, which is all listed down below. So we're going to get straight in. We're going to go in with the shade Sacred, which is that deep kind of maroony sort of shade, and I'm going to take that on a BH Cosmetics Lavender Luxe number 7 brush. So not the skinniest version of the brushes in those, but it is like the stiffer of the blending brushes. So I'm going to take Sacred on that brush, and we're going to focus that on the outer corner first. Oh, that's a pretty colour. I have used this shade already in the first look, but it's just to get a little bit more variety and see how it works more throughout the eye as opposed to just on the inner corner. So I'm just slowly building that, taking little by little, building that and popping that through the crease as well. I don't really know what lip I want to do. I'll have to decide whether I want to do a dark lip or a neutral lip. I think just a red might be nice. And I'm going to just slightly pull that out. I've blended out a little bit, but I am going to blend a lot more with the shade Entity, the more yellowy mustardy shade. Then I'm going to take that same shade on a 214 from MAC, just my small little all reliable stubby little brush, and we're going to take that same shade and we're going to pop that along the lower lash line just to give us some definition under here. I am going to pop a shimmer down here, but it's going to be possibly the red, I think. Then I'm going to take the biggest brush in that set, the number 5 from the Lavender Luxe. I'm going to take the shade Entity. I was going to use this one down here, but I just think it's going to be like just a warm tone. I think this will actually have a bit more difference to it, and I kind of just want to see how that colour works out for me. So I'm just doing a dab of this at a time, and we're just going to use that to blend around all the edges, just for this nice golden sort of hue around everything. Keep that winged out shape as well. I'm just going to blend the whole way across here. I might actually pop an extra little bit in here, so like just under there, just for something. Because the shade, I'm going to use the shade Chalice, which is the gold on the lid, and that will tie in nicely with this colour because this is like the matte version of it. I'm just going to use the same brush, that big brush. You can use a smaller brush if you want to, and I'm just going to run that along the edge of the red on the lower lash line and just get the same sort of blend going. I don't mind it being a little bit further down than most people would do because I do like that look anyway. And if, like me, you've lost a little bit of your red, just go back in with a little bit more on that brush and just make sure it's all nice and intense the way you want it to be. This is way grungier than I thought it was going to be, but I love it. Oh my god. I don't know why I thought it was going to go more sunset-y, but this is really like murky looking and I love it. Okay, so pretty much for the matte, I am done for now. Unless I need to finesse anything else, I'm not sure. We'll find out. But I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Glitter Insurance. And I'm just going to pop that on with my finger. Just nothing fussy about it. Just throw a little bit on over the lid. Just make sure it's even. It's just to get that gold to really do its thing, because in my first impressions it was stunning and I just want to see it all over the lid. I'm just going to take any little flat brush. I don't need, there's no name, literally no name on this one. I just have this flat brush, and we're going to take that shade Chalice, which is our beautiful yellowy kind of mustardy gold, and he is going to go all over that lid for that really antique look to the eye. Look at that colour. Oh my god. I'm so happy I went in with that shade Entity in the crease as well, because otherwise I wouldn't have used it in any of these looks, and I'm happy I did. I'm more likely to use that as opposed to alter like warm kind of mid-tone brown, like orangey kind of colours aren't something I always gravitate towards. So I'm actually glad that I did use Entity just to see what it looks like, because I'm more likely to use that one. So then just take a little bit more of Sacred, that dark red, and we're just going to pat that over the gold just on the outer corner and just wiggle back and forward until you're happy with your blend. You can go back in with a bit more gold. I'm also going to pull this a little bit through the crease just to make sure that this is not too harsh either. Oh, I am in love. I didn't think I was going to like this look as much as I do. I thought like the first look is probably going to be like top notch, which it is, but this might be coming in close. I'm going to take a little bit more of the glitter primer just on my baby finger, and I just want to pop a little bit of, just a small little dab, that was even too much, I'll put that over there. Little dab just for the shade Enchantress. So we're going to go into Enchantress, which is that beautiful, gorgeous, look at that, gorgeous metallic raspberry red sort of shade, almost rusty red, and that is going to go on this inner part in here, just for a little pop of something else. And just to kind of use another shade in the palette as well, I just want to see how this shade looks. Then just taking a little bit more of Entity, the mustardy shade, on the big fluffy brush, and we're just going to blend out the edge of that as well. And again, you can always add more of that not dark red, shimmery red, but I just want to get the edge the same as everything else. It also adds a real like tired look to the eye, which, as if you watch any of my videos, you know I love that look, and I don't know why. Okay, so then I'm just going to clean off that little brush again. Last little step just for shadow. I'm going to go in to Familiar, which is this one here. I think I used this in the first look as well, but I'm going to use this on the inner corner without a background colour per se. Like there's a little bit of blending happening in there from the mustardy shade, but nothing major. So I just want to see if this looks cool. It's very like, I don't know, earthy, but still looks expensive because of the gold. Oh yeah, that kind of just gathers the whole blend around to that inner corner. I'm loving a dark inner corner recently, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. Okay, so that is the look. I am going to jump off. I'm going to do some liner of sorts. I don't really know what I want to use. Do I want to use a red? Maybe a red liner on the waterline. I don't know if I'm going to do anything on the upper lash line. I'm not sure, but I have to pick out a lash, finish off my cheeks, and pick a lip. I don't know what to use for the rest of this, but I'm loving it already so far. So I'm going to jump off and do all that, and I'll come back and let you know what I used on my face. Alrighty guys, so this is how I have finished off the look. I am in love with how this turned out. I'm so happy. So I'm going to quickly go through everything that I used on my face. So I didn't do any upper lash line liner because I didn't really feel like it, and I kind of liked the really like, I don't know, soft diffused kind of look to everything, and I didn't want to add any harsh lines to that. So I went in with just something on my waterline, but I kind of didn't have the right shade of red that I wanted. So I first put down MAC's Chromographic pencil in the shade Basic Red. It was a little bit like bright red, tomatoey, cherry red, so I wanted to kind of just dull it down slightly. So I actually went in with the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Berry Fantastic. So just a burgundy berry sort of shade, just to kind of knock back the brightness of the red and kind of more match what we have going on the lower lash line. My mascara then is my Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, as it has been. And then my lashes, these are the House of Lashes Natalia. So they're super crisscrossy, spiky, really like bushy almost. I really like how they look. They add a lot of texture to the look. And then my little stars, I just used the Colourpop face stamp in, well, what is it called? Cutie Mark, that one. And this is the stars, obviously, because I do a stars moon, which I have as well. I use that in my first look. And then they also have a heart, but I have a heart from a different brand, so I don't own that one. But I really like these. I think these are really fun. These would be cool around Christmas, I think, the stars. Onto cheeks, and I already had my bronzer on when I started because I just got carried away starting my face. So I went in with my Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer in the shade In the Sun, and my favourite. I just love this bronzer so much. I then wanted something that had that kind of red rusty sort of tone to it for the cheeks, so I went in with the Clinique Cheek Pop in the shade 01 Ginger Pop, which is this. It's almost like a sunburned kind of colour, and I just thought it went really well with these sort of rusty tones and just add a lot of colour to the cheeks, because I feel like this eye needs the colour on the cheek. And then a new product for me, I have another Bobbi Brown highlighter. She's brand new to the family. This is the highlighting powder in the shade Opal Glow. It looks like this. It's in the most beautiful packaging, by the way. But this is her here. Opal Glow. Look at that sheen. And it just has a bit of a pink sort of duochrome off it, but not full duochrome, just more of a sheen. I really like how that looks. It's very pretty. And then for lip, I had a bit of a hard time. I was going to do like a burgundy red. I was going to do all that, but I decided on more of like a chocolatey brown. Not full chocolate brown that I normally do, but like more this sort of tone back here, like the red with the mustard mixed together, that sort of colour. So I started off with my lip pencil being MAC's Chicory lip pencil, just a burnt orange. That's how it goes on the lips. And then the main lip colour is the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick. It's a liquid lip in the shade Vintage or Retro. It says both vintage/retro, but retro is in a different language, so I'm thinking it's vintage. I don't know. It's this colour. That's the colour it is. And that's a matte finish, which I liked, but then I was like, oh, I've done a lot of matte lips and I kind of want to throw a gloss on. So I went in with this guy here, which I don't think you can get anymore, but any sparkly gloss, clear gloss will do. It didn't really change the colour of the lip too much. Just a normal clear gloss will do. But this is the MAC Dazzle Glass, which they definitely don't do anymore, in Prancin' Dancin'. And it's just kind of almost like a rose gold sort of colour, and there's a million colours like this out there, but that's what I used. So that is the third look. That is the third and final look of this video, but it's not going to be the final look of this palette because I'm going to be busting this out at all times, and also using it around Halloween specifically. Maybe next year as well I'll bust it out again, and we'll do sort of like get ready with me, and just to see what other ways I can use it. I'll probably use the shade Alter, but I might kind of just play around and see what else I can do with this palette because it's stunning. I love it. I love the colour story. I think it's beautiful. I don't know why I closed it when I should be still showing you. I just think it's a beautiful colour story. I love the balance of matte and shimmers. It makes you want more from Shroud. I'm tempted by the Creepy Cute a little bit, but it's all matte and I'd like a shimmer or two in it, just because I have an all matte pastel palette. I've got the Pastel Goth from KVD. I don't need something similar to that, so I'd like them to come out with something else. I'd love something like that. But I think the quality is beautiful. Definitely check it out. The Arcana, It's Freaking Bats. They're the two palettes I have, and they're the ones I can absolutely attest that they're in my top 10 in my collection. I'm probably going to do either top 20 palettes, top 10 palettes, something like that at some point in the future. Maybe not soon, because I'm still kind of testing out a few different palettes and I want to kind of have a good range of things and a range of brands to kind of choose from, but I will probably do something like that in the future. But stay tuned and hit subscribe to see that coming up whenever it does come up. I could also rank all my palettes, but I have a lot of palettes, and I have a lot of palettes I haven't even used yet, so I'd want to use those first and then rank everything. But I don't know, that's a lot of work. I'd have to count all my palettes and see what ones is better than the others. Plus I want to do a bit of a declutter first, so I'll do that first, I think, but eventually I'll do something like that. Just a little heads up, if you have blue eyes, this look for your blue eyes, it's got the golden yellow and it's got that kind of mustardy shade with the red. It just makes the blue really jump out at you in the eyes. I'm loving how my eyes look right now. So if you did like this video, then give me a big thumbs up down below. It's the quickest, simplest and easiest way to give me a little bit of support, get me around to more people, and also let me know you like the video, and I'll continue to do more of these because I feel like everyone loves the 3 looks on palettes. I will be changing to 2 looks on palettes in the future, but they're not going to stop. They're just going to change slightly, but I do feel like you guys like these the most. And also hit subscribe down below to see many more things coming up. We've the whole winter season coming up. I have a lot of like top 10s, favorites, everything like that for the winter season to kind of round off the year as a whole, and just to kind of see what I thought of things that I used during the year as well. So hit subscribe down below to see that, plus more tutorials. And I have a very exciting Beauty Bay palette that has gone out of stock, that has come back into stock, that I've just received today, that I will use probably in December, so stay tuned for him as well, and you probably know which one I'm talking about. Also, as I said in the beginning of this video, all the pictures of this look and every look in this video there's a lot of looks in the video, will be up on my Instagram. It's linked down below, and my TikTok is linked down below, where I post some weird stupid content there to go along with all these looks, and I just think it's fun. So go follow me and go follow me. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I don't know why I said it like that. And finally, let me know in the comments which look was your favourite. I'm torn now. See, okay, so I love the second one, don't get me wrong, but I really loved the first one more. But now see, this one's gone into a contender, and I don't know which one I like better. I just think I love this red in here. I don't know what it is. I'm really liking a dark inner corner right now, and all of these looks have had a darker inner corner, so I don't know which one I like. I love the drama of this. I think this is like really dramatic, but the first one was really simple with a lot of drama. I don't know. You let me know down in the comments below what you think, because I'm not sure. I'm feeling this one today, but the other day I was feeling that one as well. And I think that is everything for me today, so I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.